Ever wonder why your dog keeps barking and lunging no matter what you try? It's frustrating, it's embarrassing, and it can genuinely feel impossible to change. But it truly isn't. And you can see it here, the proof's in the pudding. This is the same dog you've just seen going absolutely crazy, now walking calmly by the dog it was going crazy at. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 things that you have to fix first to finally be able to stop their activity. Also how to make them work for you and your dog's specific needs, and why this will work when nothing else has. You see, the problem is that most people spend 80 to 90% of their training time trying to stop the barking, the lunging, fix the walking, but the foundations underneath is what's missing. And when the foundation's missing, you can't build on it, so nothing sticks. So here's what that missing foundation looks like in real life. It's you working around your dog all day. So you shuffle over on the sofa so they can spread out more, right? You avoid opening doors because you just don't want them to have to move. You chase them around to try and get the lead on and they make it a game. You have to step over them or around them in the kitchen like they're a new coffee table. And without meaning to, you're teaching them one simple lesson on repeat. You do what you want and I will work around you. So here's how we start changing it. You stop working around your dog and you start leading instead day to day. See, because before we fix the big reactions, we have to fix the small disrespects. Because if you can't hold your own space on the sofa, you're going to struggle to convince your dog to stay calm when another dog appears 10 meters away, right? So, over the next 24 hours, every single time you catch yourself working around your dog, instead of your dog working around you, just write it down. Please don't overthink it. Just note down every single time you do it. And then pick 2 of them, just 2. And we're going to change them immediately. Once you're happy with it, you're going to do 2 more. Here's how we do it. So your dog jumps on the sofa and you would normally automatically shuffle to the side, right? Just don't. Honestly, it's this simple. Just don't move, hold your ground, make them adjust. It doesn't need to be harsh, it doesn't need to be mean. Just do that. Another one, if your dog paws at you for attention, don't respond and give them love and affection. Calmly take them out, put them in another room for a couple of minutes. Let them back in and try again. When they're calm, give them fuss. This isn't about being a timeout. It's that them demanding for attention loses access to you. Now simply do this for a few days and you'll notice something start to shift. Instead of your dog looking at you like, move now, you'll have this kind of, excuse me, can I? And you see, that's not a small thing. That is the new foundation that we're going to build everything on, which is respect for you, the leader. And once that foundation is in place, you're ready to tackle the reactivity itself. But here's where most owners get it wrong, you see, because they try to treat every type of reactive dog the same, and they're not. You see, if you don't know why your dog's actually reacting, then you're going to keep using the wrong solution. Because a dog reacting out of frustration needs a completely different plan than a dog reacting out of fear. And then both of them need a completely different plan to a dog that's being overprotective. So let me walk you through all 3 right now. But here's how you work it out for yourself. Don't just watch the barking and the lunging. Watch what your dog is actually trying to do. Because the behavior on the surface can actually look quite similar until you know what you're looking for, which is what I'm about to teach you, because that comes from different emotions. So the first type is frustration. This dog's saying one thing: I want it now. They're pushy, they're fast, they're pulling towards, well, the bloody world, to be honest. They rush through doors, they drag you towards other dogs and other people, they demand attention by just jumping up and barking in your face. And when they see the trigger, you'll usually get whining and screaming first, and then quite often like a bounce and a lunge forward. If they hit the end of the lead, they can quite often spin around and go again. They're kind of like a coiled spring. So a simple test to check if this is definitely your dog is, after the reaction, are they still trying to get closer to the dog or are they not? If they are, then that's usually frustration. So the second type is fear. This dog's saying, get it away from me. It's more panicky, they'll be more erratic in general, they just don't have a plan. They'll pace, they'll pant, they'll scan everywhere fast with like really fast, quick head movements. Their bark's usually more sharp and rapid and often like higher pitched. It's kind of somewhere between like a shriek and a bark. On the lead, they'll quite often zigzag, they'll be really unsure of which way to go. And when they do see a dog and they hit the end of that lead, quite often they'll recoil and hop back before exploding forwards again. So a simple test to check if your dog is fear-based is, after they react to the dog that they see, and that dog's gone, are they still stressing on edge for a long time, still constantly scanning, looking for like the next threat? If they are, then it's probably fear. So the third type is an overprotective dog. They're basically saying, I'll handle this. And see, unlike the other 2, it's not usually chaotic, they're usually committed. They're on duty. In the house, they'll block doorways, they'll take up space, they'll just climb over you, position themselves between you and guests or other people. Outside, they can scan kind of slowly and stalk and watch. And then they might react from surprisingly far away or not at all until the dog's got really close. And that's when they've deemed that dog a threat.
Okay.
They'll often ignore you completely as well if you're trying to get their attention because they're not concerned about you. They're working. So the simple test to check if your dog is an overprotective dog is, does it look like they're trying to send that dog away? And then when that dog's gone, are they like quite often just back to normal again and completely fine? That's usually overprotective. Now, most dogs aren't often just one type. You might be looking at 70% fear and 30% frustration and then a layer of protectiveness on top. But once you know the main driver, then you can stop guessing and start actually training the right thing. So now you know what's driving the reaction. Good, because now the guessing can be over. So next I'm going to show you exactly how to train your dog based on the type of reactivity they have, so that you're actually fixing the cause, not just reacting to the explosion every time. So we need to do this differently. We need to practice the right skill in a controlled environment at first. So at home, then in the garden, then on the driveway, and then that's when we take it to the street. Because in the street is where you proof it, it's not where you learn it. So now you know your dog's reactivity type. Let's go over what skills you need to train. Frustration dogs, they need patience. Fear dogs need calm independence. And overprotective dogs need to learn to give space and have neutrality. So here's how you do that. If your dog's frustration based, you need to train patience. So you don't have a bad dog here, they're just in a permanent state of I want it now. So everything you do with them needs to practice one thing, not yet. So let me show you 3 quick drills that you can repeat daily. So the first one is thresholds. You want to do this whether your dog's going out the back garden just for a pee, or going out for a walk, or any door that you want to go through that you want them to learn to have patience on. So here's what you do. Dog on the lead every time, even if they're just nipping outside for a wee. You want to stand side onto doors and you want to have the dog behind the foot furthest away from the door. Right now it's my right leg. If I did turn and face this way, it would be my left leg. You can stand whichever side you want. And here's what you want to do. Lead short but loose. Start to open the door. If they did go to move, so I'm going to encourage Neil too. Don't encourage your dog, just so you can see. Okay, Neil, let's go. Just go little flick on the lead. That's you marking it verbally and physically. Put them back into the sit. Good. Take a second, because what you don't want to do is go back to opening the door if they're whining or going crazy. If they are, just wait. They'll do one of 2 things, because they cannot stay whining, going crazy, or barking, or whatever your dog does when they are frustrated. They will either then calm down. After a few seconds of calm, you can go to open the door again, or they will go, I can't take it, and they will move. And then, so if like that was the case now, Neil was whining and crying, and he moved, I'd go, little flick, and put back, Neil, sit, back into the sit again, and then you'd wait again. So only once they are calm and quiet, then we can go and open the door. And once we do, we still don't go, because the last thing you want is to do all this work and your dog to go, as soon as the door's open, there we go. So the door's open, we keep it open for a few seconds, and then we calmly set off. Okay, mate. And you need to be able to stop and them not try to shoot past you. If they do, bring them back in the sit, and around you go again. And if you do this at every opportunity, you will be able to have a dog that learns to have that self-control, which is the big thing they're missing when they're frustrated and they want to get to the dog. Here, he wants to get out the door. It's a different thing they want to get to, but it's the same mental trigger. So the second way to help with frustration reactivity is teaching your dog to get wound up and excited and then to let it go, because that's a big thing they need, okay? And we can do that by simulating it with start, stop, play. So you need to have a toy that your dog adores, where you play, oh my God, he's a good boy. Oh, he is a good boy, yes, yes. And I'm just talking nonsense, right? Because I want him to know, like, this is fun and engaging, yeah! Now, you do need a drop command, okay? If you can't get your dog to drop, just take your time, get out of the mouth. To be honest, it doesn't matter right now, because that builds even more frustration that then they're gonna have to learn to calm down with. I'm gonna tell Neil to drop though. Neil, drop. Thank you. Then you simply put it away, right? And if you need to, you can clip your dog up on a lead to have better control. You can take them to come and lie down. Come on. Up. Lie down. You can have them lie on the floor, lie on the sofa, your choice. And here's the thing. You wait until they are calm. So if he was now whining or crying or trying to get off, I would treat it the same as thresholds, as in he broke the position. If he tried to get off here, I'd go, I'd get the lead, a little flick, I'd bring him back and I'd put him back. And until he actually settled, he doesn't get access to the toy again. And what this teaches them is to calm down to get what they're after, not get more ramped up to get what they're after. He's calmed down, fantastic. I can unclip him. Let's go then. Now, again, you could keep the lead on your dog here for if they go to move when you go to get out of the cupboard, because again, that's a lack of impulse control, that's frustration taking over and then coming to investigate. You would treat it the same as with the thresholds if he moved at little flick. Oh, yes, good boy. And you see, he's waited. He's desperate for it. He wants it so badly, but he has to wait for it. And this is a really, really fun way for you to way to build up their levels of frustration, or I should say lower their levels of frustration and build up their ability to be frustrated and hold it together. And the final one is calm greetings. Don't come in and ramp your dogs up and be like, hi babies, come on then my darlings, Daddy, come in darling, yeah, oh, they're good dogs, yeah, well done. Because then you are teaching them that you are also a source of super high energy and excitement and frustration, because at some point you have to stop the fuss, right? And then they're going, where's the fuss? I want more of it, that was amazing. What we have to do instead is this. When you come in, they do not exist. Now, I'm aware that my dogs are now being nice and well behaved, okay? So for a split second, I'm going to get them wound up for a second, and then I'm going to teach you what you'd actually do, right? Because your dogs are probably going to be more like what they're about to be like when you first come in. Hi, babies, yeah, come on, good, Daddy. Yeah, well done, what you doing? So the jumping up, the silliness, everything stops. You just completely ignore. So you would walk in, they'd be hyper, and you would just completely ignore and go and do whatever it is that you'd want to do. Pick up your stuff, put stuff down, sit down, relax, completely ignore. And if they came over and demanded attention, so I'll get Dottie to do it, hey, darling, right? You'd just be like, nope. And what I want you to pay attention to there is Dottie was here, and I wasn't looking at her. I wasn't interested. They do not get your attention by demanding, by jumping, by pawing. They get your attention by doing this, by being calm and relaxed. It's going to take you a lot longer. The key point is this: your dog does not exist until they are calmer, okay? You don't acknowledge them, you don't talk to them, and you don't stare in their eyes, feeling bad for them. What you do is you let them realize that you are a source of calm before excitement. You can be exciting, you can play with the dogs, you can do all this stuff. You can't be a source of excitement 24/7. And that starts by when you come home, starts first thing in the morning when you get up, by not greeting them crazily, by not rewarding that high energy and arousal, and instead rewarding calm. Do these daily and your dog starts practicing self-control instead of practicing arousal. And that's the shift. If your dog's fear-based, then we need to train calm independence. So your dog isn't trying to get to the trigger, they're trying to cope with it. So everything you do needs to build on one thing: the ability for them to settle when life happens around them. So here's 3 quick drills to do that. So the first drill, if your dog has fear-based reactivity, is to help stop their neediness and dependency on you, okay? Because they then get this obsessive quality where all they want to do is demand for attention, but it's not like the dogs before where they're frustrated and they want attention. It's like they need it, okay? And what that does is that causes like an insecurity within themselves. And how that looks like is, hey, don't, come in, is they'll climb straight on you. So all you have to do is be like, no. But pay attention to how I did that. Don't do it like this. Okay, Daddy, come on. Obviously, I've invited her on there, okay? Your dog will just be climbing on you, pawing at you, whining at you, any of these behaviors. Don't be like, no, darling, go on. Go on, darling, you go off. Come on, Daddy, you go off. Because you're literally teaching them, don't leave me. Be more needy, be more insecure, because you don't really want them to go. And the hard truth about this is you like their insecurity as much as they like it. As in, neither of you know it's insecurity, and now I told you, you probably don't, but what the insecurity looks like, their love, their devotion, it isn't, it's obsession, and it's not healthy. So instead, you have to be the tough one. You have to be like, no, not interested. And when you first do that, that won't happen. They won't just be like, oh, okay. They'll come back, they'll paw, they'll do the cutest little touch on your leg or something. They'll do the cutest whine. They'll give you this look of like, oh, please. And you have to ignore it, because if you give into it, you are breeding that insecurity, you are breeding that obsession. And that helps reinforce to them that feeling insecure gets them attention. And see, the problem is when they feel insecure by the scared thing, the dog, well, they don't want attention from that, but they feel insecure. So they explode and they go crazy. And what do we do then too? It's okay, my darling, it's okay. So we feed that insecurity again. So rather than trying to get you to do stuff outside there, you start in the house by not feeding the insecurity when they come and pester, demand, and get obsessed with you for attention. One other thing on that as well, have a little bubble around you. You can invite them in, but if you haven't invited them in, don't let them creep and crawl over that close. And if you do all these things, you'll start having a dog which is much more secure in their own personal space, and you can just be like, no, not interested, and they don't feel the need that they have to be with you to feel safe. And when I say with you, I mean on you, beside you, stuck to you, right here. So the second drill is place work. Now there's loads of videos on place work. I even have some myself, okay? So I'm going to skip over the actual place training. I'm going to touch on it a little bit, and I'm going to teach you the importance of it and how we apply it to a fear-based reactive dog. So I'm actually going to use the sofa. There's raised beds. There's your own dog's bed. You can use whichever one you want. So I'm going to go, Dotty, come on up. Okay, sit. Good girl. Well done. Now you can have them sit or lay down. And then what you're going to do is once they've gotten used to staying in a specific spot, you know that there's certain sounds or certain things which make your dog nervous, okay? So what you would then do is you would start then making those sounds or having those situations occur when the dog is in their place position. So for example, with Dotty, she actually does get a little bit freaked out by almost anything dropping on the floor, okay? So I could drop something on the floor, and if she just looks interested, I can say, good girl. And that's it. Different sounds too. So if I move these weights, good girl. I'm rewarding intrigue. That's the ears pricked up, a little bit of intrigue. This is nice. If she looked freaked out, I would stop the sound. Put her back, because usually when they freak out, they want to move. Take a few seconds, maybe 30 seconds. It depends on how long it takes for them to look settled. The best way to check if they look settled is, other than the obvious lying flat, this is crude, smell their own bum? Do they scratch their ear? Do they just act like a normal dog again? When they do, you can start making the different sounds again, okay? So we can start going, oh my God, what's that? Oh, wow. A little bit backtracking there, only a tiny bit, so I won't reward that. What's this then? See that? So no, don't reward this. Take back over, come here. Sit. Good. Lie down. Dotty, lie down. Good. I wait a sec, and you see this sort of like, ooh, I'm unsure. That is what fear-based dogs act like a lot, because they're naturally submissive and nervous. Like it's in them. So we don't pander to that, even though you want to. There we go. Chewing away on something. This is the behavior I was talking about, that she's now more relaxed. So I can go back to it. Good girl. That was more intriguing. Didn't back up. Lie down. Good girl. And this is all you're going to be aiming to do. Teach them place, get them on a place where they know they need to stay generally, and then slowly chip away at different sounds you know that makes them get apprehensive. Don't jump in at the deep end. Like if they go ballistic at someone knocking on the door, don't try there. Start with something simple, okay? Something you know that freaks them out just a little bit. And work slowly and methodically. Don't reward when they freak out. Also don't punish it. Just take them back over. And then do reward calmly, not high energy wise, when you make the sounds and they just look interested or not bothered at all, and you say, yes, good girl. And this again teaches them to cope with things that freak them out, and that gets attention from you, rather than don't cope, freak out, and that gets attention from you. Because again, when you're outside and your dog's kicking off from fear-based reactivity, we give them lots of attention. We go, no, it's okay, Don, it's okay, don't, it's okay, it's okay. And then the dog finally goes, and what do? We stop talking to them. So everywhere they've learned, like lose control. They haven't learned to lose control. They've done it because they're fearful. Lose control, freak out. And on top of me just being fearful, you actually seem to like it, and you give me all this nice verbal praise, fuss, and attention. So we're flipping that on its head. Start with the easy before you try doing outside with your dogs. So the final drill, the third drill for a dog that has fear-based reactivity, is most dogs also have then a crazy reactivity to knocking on the door. So what you're going to do is you're going to have someone knock on the door for you. You can even knock on the door for yourself, which I'm going to do in a second. Bring them, go over and get them. If they'd started being crazy and barking and silly, you wouldn't go over and get them and bring them to the door yet. You'd go over and just get hold of the lead and stand still. That's all you do. Stand still and do nothing. Once they start to calm down, bring them over. Dotty, come. Bring them over to here. Dotty, sit. Good girl, Dad. So you go to go and open the door. Don't take your eye off the dog, because that's the time where they're going to go barking or crazy at the person at the door. So you go to go and open the door, keep your eye on them. Watch this arm, don't do this. This is a temptation people have. They're like, oh, oh, and you're telling the dog, oh, there's something to be fearful of, okay? So don't do that. Keep your arm nice, relax, have the lead short. Don't have it so long the dog could go flying. And don't be, like I've just said, holding them up in position. You're a good girl, darling. Have it short but loose. Start to open the door. If they start to be silly, just mark it. No, doesn't matter, pick something short. Little pop on the lead, shut the door. Put them back where they were. You move, darling. Come here. Dotty, sit. Good girl. Well done. Wait a second, double check their karma. Go to go again. And once you can open the door, have the person stood there and your dog be calm, then you're going to say, because that person's going to come in, right, one of your friends, you're going to say, come on then, to your dogs, and you're going to walk off, bring them and get them to come and lie down in their place. Come on, Dot. Up you come. Sit. Good girl. Dotty, lie down. Good girl. Okay, and then you'd sit near them with the lead short but loose, and your friend can come in. And what this teaches them over time is instead of them again being fearful in the background, going crazy, thinking, do I need to deal with this, do I not? You're bringing them with you, and you're saying, you need to listen to me, you need to sit down, you need to calm down, and you need to see that I deal with people coming in and out of the house. You don't need to. And that again, then that builds confidence in you, rather than them panicking that you can't deal with it yourself. Because that's what's going on there in that other room, going, oh my God, do I need to come and deal with it? Do I need to help you? Instead of going, I don't need to deal with it. I don't need to help you. I just need to be with you and listen and be calm and polite. And that is another huge way that you can start helping your dog that has fear-based reactivity. So do these daily and they start learning to process the scary thing, instead of erupting and then staying stressed and anxious for the next 20 or 30 minutes. Now finally, if your dog is overprotective, you need to train space and neutrality. You see, your dog has taken on a job that was never theirs. Now, your job is to remove it from them calmly, consistently, and without a fight about it. So here's 3 drills to help you with an overprotective dog. So the first drill for an overprotective reactive dog is the following. You want to send them to their place. We covered place quickly before, and as I said, there's lots of place training videos. I even have them myself. So send them over to place. And then when they're there, your job is to pick 5 or 10 minutes when they're there that you are walking around and just doing bits and pieces, and you can be pretending to do bits and pieces, right? So don't actually do stuff, because when you do, you're going to take your eyes off them and not pay attention. And your job is to just do stuff and faff around and do all these things and wait until they go to move, basically. And when they do, you're going to mark it with that at, okay? So it look like this. Neil, come. Again, don't call your dog. At. Take the lead. Take them back over. Up. Lie down. Good lad. And go back to it. Very blasé. And what this is teaching is that you can go around and do stuff and they don't need to protect you. They don't need to come and check that everything's okay. Because if you have an overprotective dog, they will probably be stuck to you like glue. Now, they also will if you have a fear-based dog, for sure, okay? But the difference between the overprotective and the fear-based dog is the overprotective will literally be watching everything you're doing. The fear-based dog will just be following you, trying to get attention continuously. So you want 5 or 10 minutes a day and slowly build this up, that they have to wait and that you pitter-potter around and they're not allowed to follow you until you release. When you do finally release, you want to make it nice and clear like this. You want to come over, you can take the lead off then. The lead just helps with control. And you're going to go, okay. And then you're just going to ignore them. You're not going to then give them loads of love and affection, okay, for waiting and leaving you alone, because that's what you need. And all this is this. This is the equivalent of you saying to your partner, can I just have 5 minutes? And they say, yeah, of course, instead of them saying, no, you can't. I need to follow you. Okay, that's what we're teaching here. We're teaching, I just need 5 minutes and you can leave me alone. And that's it. And if you do that, you're going to start teaching a dog that they don't need to constantly look after you. That's not their job. Their job is to wait until you say, follow me, stay there, or I do need looking after. Their job isn't to decide that you need looking after. So the second drill is paying attention to your dog when you have friends and family over. It might even be in your own family that you live with every day, and how they position themselves when they come over. So if somebody came over here, quite often your overprotective dog would either go from this position, if you're, say, sat over here, and they would come down. Neil, come down, baby. Good. And they would get in between you two really often. And most people don't register this. They think it's completely normal, but it isn't. It's your dog blockading. It's your dog saying, like, I love you and I trust you. I love this person more. I'm just trying to control the situation. So all you have to do here is if you register that your dog does this with specific people or everybody, even better because you get more practice, is have the person come over in your house, again, start in the house, nice and simple, and just move your dog. Make a triangle. So if the person comes and sits here where Dottie is, okay, move your dog over there. So it'd be kneel, up, good, okay? And it's like you in between rather than them in between. And if you do this consistently, as soon as you spot your dog start to do it, then your dog again learns, oh, I don't need to be on edge. I don't need to be staring and constantly going, do I need to step in here? Do I need to not? You can also apply this to, a lot of people have overprotective dogs. When you go to hug your family, they will come and try and get in the middle. Again, move them out the way. This is a drill to teach your dog that they don't need to come and get in the way, even when it isn't aggressive. Like it looks aggressive outside towards dogs. This isn't aggressive. This is your dog just coming in, standing in the middle, and everyone celebrates it. Not anymore. You send your dog away. You have the lead on for control. So if they ignore you, you can make them do it. And you teach them that they have to have a bit of space away from you when they want to come and intervene. Okay, so the third and final drill is you'll probably find they'll block places. So we've talked about blocking when humans come close to you, right? They'll block areas that when you go on your own. So a lot of people have dogs like this that will follow them everywhere, but maybe you won't let them follow you into the toilet, right? I know some people still do, but maybe you don't. So then this is our toilet door. And if Neil was then coming in constantly lying there, again, that wouldn't be an accident. So here's the drill. The drill is this. Whenever you see them blocking any path, for example, if we always came over here and they generally stayed over there and he lay here, right? Don't just step over them. Don't be like, now Neil's probably going to move here, but don't be like, ooh, let me try and squeeze in around you, okay? Just move them. I know this sounds probably too simple, but the dogs like this, not like Neil, I'm making Neil do this, but dogs like this, dogs, overprotected dogs, they're trying to control absolutely everything. And if they know there's a place you go and you don't let them follow you, where they can't oversee what's going on, or if they just know that if they lie in a certain area that we sometimes don't go there, not even through a door, we will step over them, we won't actually get them to move, and they can sit in the middle or lie down in a middle area where they can see and assess everything, they love that, but it builds that overprotectiveness again. So all you do is tell them to move, and if they don't, clip the lead on, if you can't just physically move them, and move them out of the way, and go and put them back in place or down again, okay? And then when you come back out of the room, if they come back, if they're back there, straight away, move straight away. Don't come out and give love and affection. So all it'd be is, Neil, come on, move. Off you go. Hop up. If they didn't remember, you just clip them up on the lead and you take them over there. You go in, right? We've gone in. We've come back out. And if they're either here, you're straight away moving them again. Or if they're really close, if they've moved closer than where they were, you're moving them straight back again. And don't come back out and give affection straight away, because that's, again, what they're after. They're after, okay, well, you have left me. Let me quickly check everything's okay. They don't need to check everything's okay. Without me insulting your intelligence, you've just been to the toilet. You're absolutely fine. They don't need to come and check on everything, okay? So that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that if they blockade certain areas, you're moving them out the way, no hesitation, don't ask them, tell them, make them do it. And again, you'll start to see a dog which stops constantly following you around and going, do I need to do anything? And they're just happy to lie down and chill out and let you live your life. So pick the set that matches your dog's main root cause for reactivity and run it every day for the next 2 weeks. And you see, then and only then start taking it outside around real triggers. Because by that point, your dog will already know what's expected, and now you're just going to be changing the location. So now you know what's driving your dog's reactivity and what skill to train and focus on first. But none of this will transfer onto real walks if your dog's still dragging you down the street. So watch this video next on how to fix the pull-in, and then you'll be able to take all these newfound skills from inside to outside, keeping your dog calm and relaxed.